welcome viewers, Wincher here. Apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've been on the road, working quite a bit. Also stopping by, seeing the family, and that's what I'm doing right now, recording this video on the road, so I apologize again for the audio quality. It's not the level it normally is. I've also been in the process of partnering my channel with VizzoTV.com. It's a big YouTube channel. I think they're the 4th biggest production on YouTube. So I've been occupied with that as well, with paperwork and contract and all that stuff. I also want to thank you guys for your support. Wouldn't be possible without your support to have that opportunity. So thanks again for all your comments and support throughout my channel's growth. What I want to talk about in this video is tactics and break it down and slow, get some stills going and kind of break down my movements and discuss how you need to conduct yourself when you're facing certain death. Man, this M417 is a good gun, but I don't use it the whole match. But again, I want to talk about, what you need to do to kind of increase your survivability when you're just grossly outnumbered, outgunned, and in sticky situations like I'm about to show you here. And this kind of sets the tone for the duration of the match. When I'm coming up here, this is Wake Island Team Deathmatch, and I'm trying to get a feel. This is beginning early in the match. It's not starting to go good, and then I start to see, we got a sniper rifle or any kind of gun, really doesn't matter, but this gun, it's difficult to make these kind of range shots. But look at this. This is about as bad as it gets right here. I got the entire team over here by myself. There ain't much you can do in these kind of scenarios, but again, this sets the tone, and this is kind of how the rest of the match goes. So I kind of have to adapt my gameplay to do what I can here to salvage some kind of a score. I'm playing with just a couple of my other teammates, but we're grossly outgunned with this public lobby here. But now I switched to my gun I prefer this gun over the M417, and I use this gun with a grip and either a flash suppressor, and in this case I'm using a laser sight. I prefer this gun over the M417 just because it's faster fire rate. I use both with a grip because regardless of what you guys hear online, it actually does reduce your vertical recoil just a little bit with sniper rifles by putting a grip on, and I think it's a little more effective with a grip. But you guys see me try to maximize my weapons capabilities in these kind of ranged engagements and try to limit myself to where my weapons going to shine the most against combating these massive amounts of enemies. Even in short range situations, I'm still trying to utilize cover and tactics. I'll be displaying a range of tactics here, and I'll try to describe what we're doing here on the fly. But here, about this point in the match, I'm communicating with my buddies like Knives, saying we need to put a spawn beacon down. That's a good tactic because at least that way we can control our spawning whenever we do die frequently, and that way maybe we can develop some kind of line of defense and kind of have some kind of consistency in the match. So putting that respawn beacon down, you really don't realize how much that does, but that really allows us to continue the duration of the match knowing kind of where the enemy is, and sets up lines and basically kind of like turns into trench warfare a little bit, and less sporadic, chaotic team deathmatch, more organized teamwork and gameplay. So right here in a moment, you're going to see some pretty nice little clips here coming up here. But again, as you can see, I was sitting there on a resupply ammo crate, just throwing grenades consistently, constantly. That's a good little tactic whenever you're trying to keep the enemy's heads down. Right here again, this is I don't know how I pull off these 2 kills. It's kind of fun when you get moments like that with the SKS. Retrospect, when I played it and experienced it, it seemed a little more dramatic than I did just now watching that. But still fun kills nonetheless, and you can still put down enemies at close range with this gun. Again, that's not a strong suit. You want to keep it about medium range, and that's where you get to shine the most. Right here, this is pretty much where I like to stay for the rest of the match because I can see where these guys are running. I've got the range capability, but suppressive fire is a big factor in this game, and you're going to see this become a real big complication here for me as these enemies ahead of us are putting suppressive fire on me, basically reducing my accuracy to nothing. And then they're flanking with their other teammates as these guys are doing what's smart, and they're keeping suppressive fire down on me. So now here, as you can see, as I slow down, watch where my reticle is on this player, and then watch where my bullets end up as I start firing on this guy. Look at all those bullet splashes. When you're suppressed, your accuracy is absolutely nothing. It's nil. It's negligent. So this guy, I've got suppressive fire on him too, but what's he going to do now? He's kind of in the same predicament I am. He's got cover to his advantage, and so do I. So, like most good players, I didn't realize there was actually 2 players down here, but there's actually 2 guys. I only thought there was 1 at the time. but they flank. So that's what I got to do too, and plus I got to pull back with all suppressive fire. So fortunately, I pull off one extra kill here, but you know, I suspected there's another guy around here after I heard some footsteps running around, and with 0% health or less, or right at 0% health, with the guy with the USAS, there just ain't much you can do. But by playing smartly there, I just got a little extra kill there at the end, where I wouldn't have if I was just pretty much sitting there hoping for the best. Now this is another great tactic right here. When you're using cover in this situation, look at it, I got the tugs down, look at all these enemies around. Now I'm going to sit back here and let these guys run out. I just put down 2 guys there, I think, right there, and stay right here. You know, let them come to you. You know, this laser sight kind of allows me to have some more hip fire accuracy whenever I get caught off guard. So even close range engagements, if I use cover like that, and nestle myself in there, there's absolutely no chance those guys are going to take me out in those kind of predicaments. And as you can see in the scoreboard here at the end, like I said, I go about 33 and 10. There's some extremely high level, I think 3 100 level colonels, and the entire team's colonels on their team. So they're kind of enacting some revenge on us because the previous match we came back incredibly and beat them on some conquest. As you can see here again, these range kills are great for the SKS, but having this concrete barrier is just imperative. I can shoot through these little gaping holes. You know, exposing, the whole goal of when you're being aggressive like this or defensive is to expose as little as your body as possible. Now in these situations, where do you think that guy's going to poke his head out? You know, this is a classic example of how you want to watch guys that try to peek corners, and there they are. And in a gun like the SKS, it'll shoot down trees too, you know. I just love that Battlefield 3. But in a gun like the SKS, we'll put him down in, you know, one shot if you get him to the head, pretty much. There you can see again, his teammate was foolishly timed to revive him, and he paid dearly for it. There's that rank. We're about to hit 100 Colonel, guys. We're kept to make it special. I hope it's some kind of insane gameplay when I hit level 100 Colonel, but we'll just hope for the best and see what happens. So you can see how I divert my attention, you know, left to right, but you can see I'm not really sticking around one place, but I am holding down a certain area here. And as you can see, I got a massive L96 round near my head. Again, there are grenades coming up here. This is probably not a wise move to make here, getting on top of a rock, especially when I don't realize that I actually got a bolt-action sniper rifle shooting at me, which I'm going to find out here in a minute. I'm not sure exactly why that froze up there for a second. I'm trying to recall. Okay, yeah. I remember seeing my teammate die to the right, so I slowed this down a little bit. Pay attention to those skull crossbones. You can see how I creeped up over that terrain. That gave me a tactical advantage over that guy at close range. So that was good gameplay on my half. Pay attention to those death symbols on your minimap, because that can give you an indication when you're not aware all the time of where the enemy is. But again, getting on top of those rocks with the bolt-action sniper rifle, not a good move. Now I know there's a guy over there, so again, flush out enemies with grenades when you know they're going to be in certain areas. Even if you don't get hit markers on them, you can still throw them off a little bit there. I caught him off guard, and there's that sniper again shooting at me. I caught him off guard a little bit, rattled him a bit, and I was able to get a kill. Again, SKS is not good in those kind of engagements, but that guy had an assault rifle, like an M16. Now, I'll probably get some criticism for my accuracy. I don't care about bullets, guys. I care about suppressive fire. I care about, you know, trying to get as many bullets as they can downrange. So I'll pull the trigger as many times as I can. Now here, I'm reassessing threats to my right. Let's look at the cover I got here to my advantage. Let's survey this real quick. I got this barrier here over to my right. I got a crane up there in front of me. I got rocks to my right. You know, I'm not just going to run out in the open. That's not good. I got foliage here I'm trying to keep in front of me. Constantly moving, and you constantly keeping something between you and the threat area in front of you, the battlefield. And I'm also always hitting that select button, as you can see here. Even if I can't get hit markers on these guys, I'm trying to keep my teammates aware of where the enemy is by spotting anything. I don't care what game mode it is. I don't care how close the enemy is. As soon as I see a guy, I'm trying to spot him. So here again, my teammates are communicating to me that they're flanking right, because they obviously were having some difficulty in left flank. So here, I got bullets on a guy. What do you do now? You're going to throw a grenade and try to get some more damage on those 2 enemies, because I know they're over there. They're taking hard behind those walls. And the timing paid off impeccably on that. I know there's one more medic there. He's probably going to revive his teammate like they always do, and that's a quick, easy kill for me. And I'll finish him off. There's, right there, using those tactics I just described, it went quick. That's 400 points for me. And, I mean, that's how you get, I mean, that's how you get mad points this game. And 400 points can, I mean, those add up real quick when you play like that consistently. So, know when to be aggressive and know when to be defensive. That's, you know, timing's everything in this game. Can't emphasize that enough. So to come back here to the left flank now. Again, multiple enemies again. But don't be afraid to lay it down. Watch that flank again. People always want to try flank. These are good players. They know what they're doing. You know, pull back anytime you can. Reassess the threat. Peek around corners. You know, expose as little as your body as possible. But in this situation, what we got, about half a dozen guys in front of me. This is probably what you shouldn't do. And again, these guys are good players. They did what's right. One of them laid down prone and waited for me to run around. I should have pulled back around and tried to flank down towards the beach and come up behind him. But it's moments like that you sometimes panic. Is probably a bad word, but just get a little bit too much adrenaline going. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if it helped you out. I'll have more to come. And look for my new partnership with Vizzo TV. Probably be official at the end of this week, early into next week, in early August. Thanks again for all your support, guys. This winter, I'll have more to come.